Good morning, guys. Good morning and welcome back. So, did I upload yesterday's session, guys? So, this is yesterday's session, right? Okay. So, November 4th, developer tools. Yesterday, we discussed about developer tools and HTTP request method, that is GET method, isn't it? So, this is the batch tracker sheet. Batch tracker sheet. Any new joinees today? Prashant Reddy is one new joinee. And anyone else? That's it, right? Okay. Okay. Before I start today's session, guys, one quick update. So we have 7 lifts in those who are for those who are attending offline. Okay, we have total 7 lifts in this building, guys. So gate 1, you will have 4 lifts, right? On the front side, opposite to South India Shopping Mall, you will have 4 lifts. All the 4 are working from today, right? One lift did not work till yesterday. So I saw that that 4th lift is also working now. And then you have 2 lifts on the Ellaradigoda lane side. Itu side, this road goes to Ellaradigoda, right? So this side you have 2 more lifts, 5 and 6. And so everyone knows this, who is coming to the building. There is one lift, in the back side that very few people know. That is lift number 7. Okay. So if we have rush in the peak hours, usually from morning 9 to 10, you will have full rush in, full rush in the lift lobby. Lift lobby on the front side, right? 1 and 4 lift lobby lo, you'll have full rush. So you can go for backside lift or 5 and 6. 5 and 6 are close to our classroom. Okay, guys. That is one update. So we had escalated this, that one lift is not working. We had escalated that to the management and to our owner, through our owner, and we got that 4th lift also working from today. First thing. And then as we discussed yesterday, so let me take you through the current openings, guys, first in the first 5 minutes. Okay. So that if someone is sleeping or lazy, they will become active. So, right. So these are openings that we got today, guys, 1 hour ago. So Encora Bangalore, senior performance test engineer, Bangalore again, and again applicants, it seems but these are all these are senior performance engineers, and this is for remote position, performance engineer, open source. Let us see what is the experience range that they are looking for. Maybe more experience. They are looking for high experience. Let's see that. Okay. What are they looking for? How much experience they are looking for? Some of these may be for, like 5 plus or 6 plus, but we'll discuss about the relevant openings for you, 3 to 4 years, etc. I have one more email that I saw just now. There are, couple of openings for, there are some remote positions, guys. Bay One Solutions, it seems. This is for 3 to 4 years of experience. I had watched this email while when I was in metro, traveling in metro. Okay, so 3 to 5 years of experience, right? And what please go through the create a profile in Naukri first. Okay, I'll do one thing. This Saturday I will create one Naukri profile for you, so that you will be getting updates. You'll be getting daily openings, right? So that you will be more focused and more alert. That's my intention. If you are seeing openings daily, you'll see more interested and more focused. Yes, sir. Not required. In Naukri, you can create 4 to 5 profiles, right? You can create. It's up to you. You can create a new profile with new email ID, or with the same email ID, you can create. In Naukri allows you to create 4 to 5 profiles, I think. Now you need to hide that previous profiles. Okay. Then no, that should not be the case. Actually, ideally, it should not happen. But if it is, okay. Then create a new profile. Then okay. 1 second, just getting some important call. All right. So first opening that we are seeing is like for 3 to 5 years of experience. And the main requirement, what is the tool requirement? You can see here. JMeter, BlazeMeter, Postman, and LoadRunner tools. Right? Good knowledge of JMeter. Of course, they mentioned 4.0, but it is not recommended to use a older version of any tool. Okay. For JMeter, particularly, if you go to JMeter website, official JMeter website, and see the best practices. First and foremost thing is always use latest version of JMeter. Okay. So seems like they are not getting updated, right? So what? So it is easy for to get into such companies. So right, they're still at JMeter 4. Okay. So I can say for sure that it's easy for to crack these kind of companies interviews. They don't, or else, it may be a mistake from HR side. They don't review the JD. Right. Anyways, so that is not important. Important thing is they are looking for JMeter, BlazeMeter, Postman, and LoadRunner tools. Okay. So JMeter will be covered. We are covering BlazeMeter also from last 1 year. I got a chance to work on BlazeMeter in 2023 when I was working for Quality. Okay. So BlazeMeter, many people think that those who have some idea of JMeter, whenever we say BlazeMeter, right, many people think that it is BlazeMeter extension for Chrome, isn't it? Kinra, and those who are having some knowledge of JMeter, prior knowledge of JMeter. Am I correct?
Yes.
Right. So that is not that they are looking for actually. So that if it is a extension, they will not mention extensions, plugins, and all such small things. Those are trivial things. When you say BlazeMeter, it is BlazeMeter SaaS. Okay, it is BlazeMeter SaaS. What is BlazeMeter SaaS? We'll discuss that. In fact, I had recorded some demo sessions on BlazeMeter alone, and they are available on my YouTube channel as public videos. Okay, I have some. Let me show you those. So BlazeMeter anagane, BlazeMeter extension, they feel that that is what most of the people know. But actually, that is not BlazeMeter SaaS. BlazeMeter plugin. They are not expecting BlazeMeter plugin, but they are expecting BlazeMeter SaaS. What is BlazeMeter SaaS and all, we will discuss it. Okay, we'll discuss it. And if you are curious to know, those who are already having some, some idea on JMeter, so you can go through through my YouTube channel. There are some 3 free videos on that. Okay, so BlazeMeter for live monitoring of test executions, and you BlazeMeter introduction. You see here BlazeMeter introduction, and there are 3 videos actually on this. And if you want me to show that, so let me log in and show that. So this is what they are actually, expecting. Actually, if it is mentioned as BlazeMeter SaaS, then it makes more sense actually. So this is a combination tool with JMeter, guys. Let it load. Yes. This is what this is what they are expecting. This is BlazeMeter SaaS. SaaS means software as a service. Okay. And Postman, most of you might have heard that at least, right? Because most of you are from having some testing knowledge or prior performance knowledge as well, isn't it? So this BlazeMeter, from BlazeMeter we can execute JMeter text in GUI mode actually. Okay, and this is what they are expecting when they say BlazeMeter, not BlazeMeter extension for Chrome. So extensions, plugins, లేకపోతే Notepad++ తెలియాలి మాకు, ఇవన్నీ these kind of things will not be mentioned in the JD, right? లేకపోతే like developer tools కావాలి. So these are by default, you should be having good experience on them. And then Postman and LoadRunner tools, right? Should have knowledge on some monitoring tools like Grafana, AppDynamics, Datadog. In this JMeter training, I am going to cover Grafana and I will cover JMeter integration with App Dynamics or Dynatrace. Okay, I will cover only integration part, and we'll have 3 to 4 sessions in the JMeter training, right? And UI and API testing will be covered extensively in the training. Proficient in designing performance test scripts, UI, both UI and API for enterprise applications based on the requirements using JMeter and BlazeMeter. Clear, guys? So for enterprise applications, so we are, in the training, I will start with demo applications, but I will cover 2 or 3 enterprise applications also. Java enterprise applications also will be covered in the training. Okay, in the scripting, for scripting purpose, guys. Okay, this is an enterprise Java application. Konakat is an enterprise Java application. AOS is an enterprise Java application. Even though it is a demo application, it is an enterprise Java application. And then I'll also cover one real-time application called Asmara, which is a full-fledged enterprise application, right? So, or I'll cover one Salesforce application. Okay, based on how you do scripting. If you're doing scripting very well, based on that, I will decide the real-time application. Clear, guys? And there are a few more openings that I want to show. So it's already 10:23. We'll stop it here, guys. By the way, Capgemini is having a lot of openings, it seems. In fact, they are having huge resource crunch for performance testing resources. There is huge shortage for performance testing resources in Capgemini. And this is for 4 to 6 years of experience. And what they are expecting, JMeter and LoadRunner. In LoadRunner, they are expecting web protocol, true client, and RESTful. Okay. So till now, we are covering web and RESTful in the training. So from this batch, I am going to add true client protocol also. Okay. I'm going to add true client protocol also from this LoadRunner batch. Because, so most of the companies I am seeing this frequently. Right. And then Dynatrace is covered along with LoadRunner. Perfmon is covered along with JMeter and Dynatrace. Either of these. Splunk, this is separate training. We are running this as a weekend batch. Splunk and Dynatrace, we are running weekend batch as a separate weekend batch for Splunk and Dynatrace. Okay. But of course, ఇక్కడ experience range 4 to 6 ఉంది కదా. Usually all these tools will be expected for 6 years experience, guys. Not for 4 years experience, guys. I hope it is clear, right? So here also, if you see the experience range, they are asking 3 to 5 years. For 5 years experience, they will expect all these majority of the tools, right? For 3 years experience, LoadRunner, JMeter are mandatory. Please remember this. You see any JD, both JMeter and LoadRunner will be mentioned, isn't it? And then, so we'll stop it here. It's our, we started late today, so we'll discuss this tomorrow, guys. The remaining openings tomorrow, but you can see how many openings are there. There are 7 new jobs in today, only for today, right? There are 7 new openings for performance test engineers for today. Apart from that, I did not get that Naukri alerts email yet. Inkara, okay. We got one email from Naukri. We don't have any, like usually I'll get 2 emails, 2 alerts daily. We'll see that tomorrow. Okay. So we'll see those Naukri emails tomorrow, because I'm not seeing much openings in Naukri, but LinkedIn, we can see that there are more openings for in LinkedIn for performance engineers. Clear, guys? Everyone create a LinkedIn profile if you don't have. Even if you have, like update your profile. Okay. Update your profile now itself. Okay. Don't wait till the training is completed. All right. Okay then. So let's move to the session now, or let's move to the JMeter part. So before I start JMeter, let us have a quick assessment, guys, on yesterday's concepts. So what did we discuss yesterday, Santosh?
Get method.
Get method. Okay. What is get method?
Sending a request. In the client side,
When is the get method used? Shivkumar.
So we have to the option.
Right. Get method is used to retrieve some page from the server or to retrieve some resource from the server, isn't it? And for to explain that, I took this web tours example, right? And I started the server. So I'll share this, once you confirm your joining, those who already paid fees and confirm their joining, you'll get an email with the demo applications link. I'll share my Google Drive for them. Okay. However, this is the application URL. What is the URL that I told? Localhost 1080 webtools index.html. So this is a GET request. Why is it a GET request? Why is it called a GET as a GET request? We are asking server to get this page for us, get this HTML document for us, right? So how to check that whether it is a GET request or a POST request? Yes.
We can check through developer tool.
Developer tools. How to launch developer tools?
We can basically I'm using Mac, so I will use command option I.
Right. Command
Option and I.
Command option I on a Mac. Right. On Windows,
F12.
Control.
F12. Right. F12 is the keyword. Keyboard shortcut for that. Or function F12 is the key for that. Clear guess. Now you know how to see that. How to check the request method in developer tools. Gracie, how to see this? Why I'm not seeing this anything here? And how to see that? Lokesh? Praveen? Send a request again. After opening developer tools, you need to send a request again.
Refresh the page, we can see.
Right. Refresh the page. Do control refresh. Okay. Do control refresh. That is the best way. Right. Why control refresh? What is the difference between refresh and control refresh? Refresh means this one, right? Simply clicking this. Refresh will reload the page. You see that when you put your cursor, there is a, you got a black color box, right? Can you read it out? Reload this page, hold to see more options. So basically, if you click on this refresh, it will reload the page, right? What is the difference between reload, refresh, and that is refresh? This is refresh. This is called as refresh or reload. Now, what is the difference between refresh and control refresh? Kinnara?
I suppose maybe the existing transactions, it'll not happen.
Existing. When you do control refresh, it will fetch all the, see, this page is having 8 page resources or 8 sub requests, isn't it? The main page low, this is the, let me hide this. So this is the main request that we are sending from browser to server, right? This is the main request that we are sending from browser to server. But if you see here in the developer tools, there are total 8 requests going to the server, isn't it? There are a total of 8 requests going to the server. You see the count there, 8 requests at the bottom. So these are all 8 requests. What are those? Index.html, header.html, welcome.pl, hb logo.png, webtools.png. There are total of 8 requests, right? Now this is the head of the family, right? This is something like head of the family, right? So if you invite the head of the family, so you'll for a function, right? మీరు మీ ఇంట్లో వాళ్ళు అందరూ రండి అని చెప్తారు కదా అలాగే these are members of the family. The other sub requests are members of the family, right? So this total page is made up of all these web page resources. Now index.html, this is the main request, and if you see here, the request method is a get method. Understood this? The request method is a get method. This is how we can check like what request method is that. And what are these sub requests then? What are these sub requests? So let me explain. So you need to know these guys. These are important for performance testing. Not only performance testing, these are important for manual testing and automation as well. Okay. So now if you observe here, this is your main request. And then you have one more request called header.html. So this is actually, this one is header.html. Okay. This one is actually header.html. Okay. So for in Word document also you have header and footer, right? You know that, right? Header and footer. So similarly, most of the web pages will have header and footer, right? Most of the web pages will have header and footer. Let me show you that. Suppose if you go to, bigbasket.com, right? So you see in the header, you see some big basket logo and cart symbol, option to login, etc. And in the footer, you see some, in the footer, you see some note over here, right? Supermarket grocery supplies private limited. This is footer part. Every page will have this. Every page will have this, isn't it? Header and footer, every page you will have this header and footer. Clear, guys? Even though you go to any page on the website. So header and footer will be common. Yes or no? Right? You see here, this has both header and footer. Isn't it? So of course, here we have only header page. Okay, this will be common in every page. If you click on sign up now, still we have that header, isn't it? Or if you log into the application, I'm logging into the application, still you are having that header. Now you understood what is meant by a header. Header will be common for all the pages in a website, right? Header and footer also will be common. But of course, this particular website doesn't have a footer. But footer unte, it will be common for each page, right? I did not explain this in any previous batch, actually. Right? You can check the previous demos. I did not explain this in any previous batch about this header and footer. Okay. Of course, like there will be some improvement from batch to batch, right? It should be there, right? Now, header, this is about index and header.html, and then welcome.pl. Welcome, what is welcome.pl? This page is welcome.pl. This page is welcome.pl, and HP logo.png, this one. This particular image over here is HP logo.png that you are seeing here, isn't it? So HP enduku vachindante ikkada, because this application was developed by HP, by a company called HP. Okay, demo application. Maybe they might have developed this. And then next one is webtours.png, isn't it? There are two images here on the header. So this is webtours.png. Clear, guys? Now, why are we discussing all this? Are these important? Definitely yes. Okay, you should know, what is the main request and what are the sub requests. Clear, guys? Again, I'm doing a control refresh. Now you see here, there are 8 requests. Along with that, this time we got one more. That is favicon.ico. This is favorites icon. Ignore that. Which is in red color. You are seeing one request in red color, right? That is favicon.ico. Favicon means favorites icon. అది ఎప్పుడు వస్తుంది అంటే, if you add this to your favorites browser లో favorites యాడ్ చేస్తే, then you get this favicon.ico request, right? But these 8 are important. I'm sorry. These first 8 are important sub request in this main request is. So this is the main request, right? And this is the main request, and all these first 8 are important, important resources of the page. Important resources of the page. Yesterday, what is the resource we discussed yesterday? A web page consists of many resources. What are those?
HTML, CSS, Java.
HTML, CSS, JavaScript, images, right? So good, Raghu. Raghu is from agriculture BSc background. Okay. He's from agriculture BS. We don't have any computers background. Right? Those are called as web page resources. What are those? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, images. These are all web page resources. And the agricultural BS, I remember this guy's name. Recently, I shared, one post about code ready on my Insta page. Insta, no? Insta, I think I shared it in my WhatsApp status. Sorry, right? He's a school dropout, it seems, right? And he's, did you read that story? Did you check that in my WhatsApp group and did you read that story? Right. He was recently, hired by Microsoft itself. Code Reddy. Please go through this success, his success story, guys. Okay. Inspiring journey of Code Reddy Saripalli. Right. And please go through this inspiring journey of Code Reddy Saripalli from Microsoft employee. In my career also, I came across, one such guy called, Ashwin Palpatti. So Ashwin Palpatti is a college dropout, and he stepped into IT career. He used to work as a lab coordinator in one Amirpet institute itself. He's a college dropout, and he used to work as a lab coordinator in Amirpet institute. స్టూడెంట్స్ కి బీటెక్ ఎంసీఏ చదివిన వాళ్ళకి ల్యాబ్ కోఆర్డినేటర్ డౌట్స్ క్లారిఫై చేయడానికి అలా స్టార్ట్ చేశాడు అండి కెరీర్. అండ్ he used to attend the classes along with the students. అంటే he joined as a staff. ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ లో స్టాఫ్ కింద నాన్ టీచింగ్ స్టాఫ్ కింద జాయిన్ అయ్యాడు. ఈ స్టాఫ్ అండ్ he used to attend the స్టూడెంట్స్ కన్నా తనకు బాగా అర్థమయ్యేవాడు. సో he became so how can you say that స్టూడెంట్స్ కన్నా వాళ్ళకి బాగా అర్థమయ్యేదంటే he became a CEO. He started a software company in his later journey, and he established a software company. And value, what is it for Testers Desk? What is that? He's the founder of TestersDesk.com. Okay, and this company was acquired by Applabs Technologies, my first company. Applabs Technologies, they acquired that company and offered him vice president role. I'll tell you one interesting story. So whenever he conducts a meeting, so we used to get shivering literally, because we don't know what question he will ask. Right? He will ask, he'll point out and he'll ask, and can we answer or not? And class lo cheppevadu, I mean meeting lo cheppevadu. Right? So you are all postgraduates, graduates and postgraduates. I am a college dropout. And cheppani start chesevadu. Right? And whoever answers, he used to give, Parstisi, he used to give 100 rupees, 200, 500 in 2005. This is in 2005 or 6. At that time, 100 rupees is a big amount, not a small amount. Right? And one fine morning, I was in that meeting. I was also in that meeting. So I was also, I heard about him. And I was also feeling tensed. Somewhere in the corner, I am feeling tensed. Right? And it was surprising that whoever answers first, he is giving 200, 500, 1,000. A tarvata Indian currency is over, then he started giving dollar notes. $1 note, $2, $5, $10, till his purse is empty. He's that much passionate, and it doesn't mean that he has a lot of money. He's that much passionate. Whoever is answering, he's giving money like that. So once the purse is empty, he started noting down the names. మీకు తర్వాత ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేస్తానని చెప్పి. And then he became, he was working as vice president in Applabs Technologies at that time. And later on, his passion is music. Actually, he entered into music industry. So he did some composing. There are very good, some songs composed by him, music composed by him, right? So that is his passion, basically. That is his passion, or that is his hobby, and he turned that hobby into his full-time, profession later on. And please go through these inspiring stories, and I'm please follow our Insta page, guys. I'm sharing a lot of some motivational quotes like this, right? So please follow this. At least I believe you will get some, you will get imbibe those motivation. Okay, you should set a goal that makes you want to jump out of your bed every morning. Right? You should have a goal in life. Right? What is the difference between dream and a goal? I think we are deviating, right? But still, I feel that is worth discussing about these guys, right? Who really make a difference, isn't it? So he's a school dropout, and he's now working with Microsoft, right? My brother is working in Microsoft, by the way, but he's an IIT graduate from IIT Kanpur, MTech graduate from IIT Kanpur. Okay. And he's working in Microsoft, for the same Microsoft. But this guy, having 10th, without any qualification, he was able to get a job in good position in Microsoft. My own brother is also working for my Microsoft now, but he is, so he did Polytechnic and then BTech and then MTech in IIT Kanpur. Right? He studied like almost Polytechnic 3 years, BTech 4 years, 7 years plus 9 years after his 10th class. But this guy, it's really great that, this guy without having any qualification, so he made to Microsoft. Really a very inspiring story, right? All right. So now let's move on to that. Let's move. Where are we? What are we discussing? Yeah. So these are web page resources. Now let me show you. We have sent a request for index.htm, but how come these requests are called? Yes or no? We actually sent a request for webtours index.htm, right? But how come these requests are called? Let us understand that. For that, let me go to that. Let me go to that server folder. That server folder. I'll go to first, in index.html. First, I'll go to index.html. Here it is. In webtours folder, there is a file called HTML document called. There is a HTML document called index.html. And now, if you open that in Notepad++ or any editor, you can see the code of that, source code of that, isn't it? Now observe here, this index.html is calling header.html. See, observe here. It is calling header.html and welcome.pl. Right? It is calling header.html and welcome.pl. And that is how these two are called. That is how. So this we have sent a. I'm sorry, 1 second. 1 second. This we have sent a request to index.html, and this index.html called these two requests, header.html and welcome.pl, isn't it? That is how these two are called. Now let us see the source code of header.html now. But how about these remaining HP logo, web tools, and all these, right? So if you open header.html code, then you'll understand that. One second, please. 1 second. Okay, so this is the source code of header.html. Now let us understand this source code. Now if you see here, this is calling, this header.html is calling hplogo.png and webtools.png, isn't it? And see, observe here, there is something called BG color. BG color means background color, right? And if you see this color code, this is the color code. If you Google search that color code, it will be nothing but, the blue color, the dark blue color that you see over here. Okay. You see here, this color, this is the same color that we are seeing, right? In header.html, right? This is some dark blue or midnight blue, right? See, dark midnight blue. Okay. Clear this. And that is how, that is how you are seeing this background color and HP logo and webtools.png. Now you understood, how these requests are being called, from the main request. Why are we discussing this? If you see here, there is a column called, initiator. Yesterday, someone asked about this initiator, or someone mentioned about this initiator, isn't it? So the initiator for all these requests is index.html. You see, for header.html and welcome.pl is index.html. Yes or no? Who called this header.html and welcome.pl? Index.html called that. From in the index.html, that code is mentioned, isn't it? And now, who called this hplogo.png and webtools.png? Those are called from header.html. Now you understood this column initiator. What is meant by initiator, and which page called that particular resource? That is called as initiator. Clear, guys? And you should know each and every column in the network tab in developer tools. Developer tools lo prati column you should have a clear understanding of all these columns. Okay. And then status. There is one more column called status. What is meant by status here? Status are, this is also called a response code. Status are response code. Okay, I'll write it down here, developer tools. And give a heading here, developer tools on it, right? So in that, status is nothing but response code. Okay, and what we got here, we got a 200 response code, isn't it? There are other response codes also. We'll discuss them later. There are other response codes like 2xx, 3xx, 4xx, 5xx. We'll discuss that later. Okay, in detail. We'll have a separate session on only HTTP response codes. This week only we have to complete this, right? So status means response code. When do you get 200 response code is if the server is able to process your request successfully. If server is able to, you sent a request for index.html. If server is able to serve that page to you successfully, send that page to you successfully, it will send a response code of 200. And that is why you are seeing 200 here. Clear, guys? Except, ignore this one. This one you can ignore it. Okay. Please ignore for, is there a way to delete this? 1 second. Block request.
Favorite icon, right?
Now, wait, I will, favorite icon. Block that request. Next time, you should not get that. Yes. Oh, still you are adding.
Favorite icon per time, it looks just like
Where is that?
localhost of the time.
Here.
Yes, but it's just
Let me try that. And I'm refreshing the page. Still getting there. Still getting. Ignore that. Please ignore that. That is not required. Okay. I'm sorry. We'll do one thing. I'll try in private browser. I'll try in a private browser. So let me open developer tools here as well. Ignore it. If you still get it, ignore it. Okay. Ignore the last one, which is in red color, but this is favorite cycle. Okay. But other than that, now you understood, you got a 200 response code for all the requests. And then what is the document type? Observe here. The type of this resource is a PNG PNG, right? Because this is an image, isn't it? And you have PNG and GIF as well, right? And we discussed those image formats. There are different image formats, that we discussed. What are those, Gracie? JPG, PNG, GIF, BMP, SVG, right? Etc. etc. There are a lot of image formats. And then Initiator, I already explained, isn't it? And now if you see here, if you see welcome.pl, shall we see welcome.pl? Shall we see the code of welcome.pl? Where is welcome.pl? Here it is not there, right? Go to classes and see if there is any welcome.pl here. It is not there here as well. Go to htdocs, web tools. Will be somewhere in some other folder, guys. Logs, icons, error, conf, CCA bin, other icons, logs, manual modules are okay. We'll do one thing. So I'll search here. That is there in CJ bin lo undi, isn't it? Now, if you open this code, right? The source code of that. See again, there is a lot of PL is for Perl, Fabric Perl. PL is for Perl. Perl is a language basically. Perl is a language, software language. Okay. So this is the source code of welcome.pl, right? And now it may be calling some other resources, right? Clear, guys? Now that is how all these 8 requests are called. Is it clear? Now this is the main request and these are called as sub requests. The remaining 7 are called as sub requests, right? All the 8 are called hits to the server. All the 8 requests are called as hits to the server. Hits to server. Which server? Web server. Now, what is web server? We'll discuss it later. Okay. So, but remember this, note down this. When you send a request to this index.html, okay, right? This is resulting in 8 hits to the server, web server. Clear? 8 hits are, those are also called as sub requests. Yes, we need to. So even if why should we check that is, even if one of the page suppose this image is taking more time to load, it will impact your response times. It will impact your overall response time, right? So what is response time? What does response time means? Response time means how much time it is taking to load the page. How much time it is taking to load the page. So even if one of the resources is taking more time, your overall response time will be impacted. So all these resources are important. All these resources are important. Okay. And if you see here, you see finish 1 second. You see here, finish 1 second. Load time is 977 milliseconds. Means this is the overall response time of the page. It took 1 second to load this page. That's what it means.
So, by initially load around
We'll discuss that. We'll discuss this in the browser side monitoring. We'll discuss that. That will be last 1 week. We'll discuss that. So, you can see that the response time of this page is 1 second, as you see here. Clear, guys? And DOM content loaded. We'll discuss what is DOM content loaded and all later on. Okay. And then load time means, for loading the resources, it took 977 milliseconds. Similarly, if you go to, let me go to some other website. Let me open developer tools first. And let me go to apple.com website. If you observe here, there are 68 requests over here, isn't it? Because, see, all real-time applications will have, hundreds of requests, tens or hundreds of sub-requests. Okay. So there are total 68 requests. How much time? What is the response time of this page? This is 2.64, 2.5 seconds approximately, isn't it? And we'll discuss this. What is this 3.2 MB transferred, 6.5 MB resources? We'll discuss those later on, right? But developer tools, and one more thing is, observe here, by default, all is selected. By default, all is selected. Suppose if you want to see only images on this file, you simply click on IMG. It will show you only images. You see here, it is showing in the developer tools, is showing only images because you selected images here, IMG here. If you want to see CSS files or HTML documents, click Docker. So this is a HTML document, right? And then if you want to see CSS files, click on this. And now you see only CSS files, right? What is CSS file? What is JavaScript file? We'll discuss that later. We need to understand that. We need to have that understanding. Clear this? These are the different JavaScript files on this page, apple.com page, isn't it? And then if you want to see, web services are image. Okay, image I already covered, right? So there are total of, 31 images. You see here, 31 by 68 means total number of requests is 68, out of which 31 are images, isn't it? Suppose if you go to Amazon.in, Amazon will have hundreds of images, isn't it? Yes, sir. And let me hit enter here. You see here, how many images are there? Out of total, 400 plus requests, 381 are images, isn't it? So if you click all right, it will show you, see, there are total of 469 requests. There are 469 sub requests, isn't it? Right? And how are they called? Understand this example. If you understand this is a simple example, right? Where you have only 8 requests, which is easy to understand. That's why we start with these demo applications. Clear, guys? But the underlying architecture remains the same for any application. Understood how these sub requests are called? What are these? These are called as web page resources, right? Let me write it down in the class notes, or I think I already mentioned that before. Web page resources, did we discuss? What is a web page resource? Right, so any web page consists of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, images, etc. Those are called as web page resources or web page components. These are also called as web page components. Components means nothing but component means part of something. A small part of something is called as a component. Right? So your web page is made up of all this. Is it clear, guys, everyone now? And now we can see all those web page components in developer tools. Now, can you write a short story on developer tools in the next session? For classroom participants, as I told you, you'll have some additional activities. I'll get some printout for you, or you can write it down and show me in the classrooms, right? So you need to explain what is the developer tool and what is the what information you get from the developer tool. So online folks also, so you can write some short notes on this. What is the developer tool and what all information you get it. You should mention about these all these sub request status, type, initiator, and size. What is size here? Observe here. The size of this web page is 664 bytes. Size of this image is 899 bytes. You see here, the size of the image hplogo.png size is 899 bytes, right? So the size column tells you what is the size of each component. Clear? And then there is a one more column called time column. What does that tell you? Time column will tell you how much time it is taking to get that load that resource or to get that resource from the server. Understood, guys? How much time it is taking to that particular, how much time that particular resource is taking time. So this is time column. Clear, guys? And there will be one more column called, waterfall. One second, let me. Second, guys. Somehow it got hidden, let me try to show that. One second. So Sivakrishna asked a question in the Zoom chat. He's asking if this is the first session. No, this is not the first demo session. So let me show you that. So this is 7th or 8th demo. Let me go to the playlist URL of this batch. So this is the playlist URL of this batch. So performance testing October 2024 morning batch. So the first 15 days will be fundamental concepts only. Sivakrishna, for your information, if you are still with us. Are you still with us? Able to hear me, Sivakrishna? I'll share the playlist URL. Okay, but you need to speak out. Okay, we cannot have silent spectators. So this is the we started the testing concept somewhere on performance testing concepts were started on when is this? October 29th, is it? No. So we started testing concepts on October 24th, and then reasons for doing performance testing on October 25th, and then different types of performance testing on October 29th. So usually I will be spending first 15 hours on theory part or these basic concepts, fundamental concepts. Okay, and tool will be started from next Monday onwards. JMeter tool will be started in this batch from next Monday. Okay, and LoadRunner also will be started in parallel. That is what my plan as of now. But of course, if you don't have enough strength for LoadRunner, I will not start now, right? But that is my plan as of now, tentative plan as of now. Okay. So you can, I'll share the playlist URL, so you can watch the playlist URL. So if you want to continue in this batch, but we are still at fundamentals, and this entire week we are going to spend the rest of this week, complete week, on these fundamental concepts only. Sorry. Right? Is it clear, guys, everyone, now what is the purpose of developer tools? Some interviewers, there are some instances where interviewers, will spend first 10 to 15 minutes on developer tools itself. Okay. These are faced by our previous batch students only. Interviewers spend, first 10 minutes on developer tools. They ask different questions on developer tools, and then they will start, performance testing concepts. Clear, guys? So you should have a clear understanding of developer tools. What information does it provide? What are the multiple tabs? Some interviews ask this. What are the multiple tabs in developer tools? Remember, we are on network tab. Please remember this. Okay. As a performance engineer, we need not know all the tools, or we need not use all the tabs, but we should know thoroughly about network tab and lighthouse tab. There is one more tab called lighthouse tab. We use, performance engineers mostly use this network tab and lighthouse tab, and developers use this one, elements tab, elements and console. Okay. In that way, security testing will do it. We'll use this tab, the security tab, right? So these developer tools, are used by multiple, teams actually. Developers will use it, functional team use that, automation team use that, and performance team, security testing team, all these teams use different tabs. Remember, we should use network tab. The information that we need to know can be obtained from network tab and lighthouse tab. These are the two tabs that we use in developer tools. So with this, I'll stop it here, guys, for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Other loan, huh? Other slow, it is showing those unwanted ones. Means I'll see that. I'll see how to get it. I'll see. All Bakna, poor filters. Yeah. You'll see that I have to start session for next batch. Okay. You'll see it later. That is not that much important. Otherwise, I'll see that later. At this moment, not important. Okay. So I'll stop it here, guys, for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Any queries, guys, before we close today's session?
So if you want to know the page load time, you have to consider all the sub requests along with the main request.
Yes. Page load time also will be measured by this developer tools, right? You see that value also.
Right, yeah.
Load time, you see here, load time is 977 milliseconds for this page. For apple.com, it is 2.5 seconds, isn't it? Load time is 2.5 seconds, right? Overall response time is 2.64 seconds. And then for this Amazon, that is, that may be slightly more. It is 4.5 seconds load time. Overall response time is, this is not the page response time. And a refresh outundi. Actually, like we need to stop it after once the page is loaded. Otherwise, some images are getting refreshed. That is why you are seeing in minutes, but that is not the response time of Amazon. Okay. So, if you want to see what is the response time of Amazon, I'm doing control refresh again. So once the page is loaded, right, you can stop the recording like this by clicking on the stop recording network log. Once there will be 400 plus requests are approximately, right? So this is the response time of Amazon page. It is approximately 13 seconds. Okay. Once all the resources are loaded, you need to stop it, right? Because it will be, see, in Amazon, you see you'll have some banner running, or this will be loading, right? It will measure all these banner and images loading and all. That's why previously you saw in minutes. But actually, this response time of Amazon page is approximately 13 seconds or 14 seconds. Yes, all these images are, all these resources are loaded from the web server. Any other queries, guys, before we close today's session? Okay, then I'll take your silences now and I'll close for today. Yes. We'll finish this, request methods tomorrow, guys. The remaining request methods, we'll finish this tomorrow because today we discussed much about developer tools, right? So I'll mention the same. Developer tools, so we discussed about network tab. Next, Initiator. Next, what did we discuss next? Lokesh?
Status.
Status are response codes. Okay, status column. Status column. ECOLUMN, right? Size and time, isn't it? Okay, guys, I'm passing the recording. Okay, and see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll complete these request methods for sure.
Okay.
Okay.